Hello everyone, welcome to Concrete Man Power channel. So imagine today you are going to pour this bag of rice into a container. How are you going to do it? You will lift it up the bags, rice bag, and pour the rice into the bowl. With the help of gravity, the rice will fall into the container and you will need to shake the container so it is compacted. So what if today, if we lift the rice bag higher and let the rice fall under a greater gravity force, the rice itself will compact more compared to the previous one, and the energy needed later to shake the container so that the rice is compacted is lesser than before. Am I right? So this is the first conditions and this is the second conditions. So similar concept actually applies to concreting. If concrete is to be poured from a certain level of height, then it will ease the work of compaction later, and hence definitely will save more cost and levels, and at the same time it will make sure the quality of concrete is good, which is high strength and durable. Hence, this is the topic of the testing today, compacting or compaction factor test. Compaction factor test is the workability test for concrete conducted in laboratory, and very rare to see a compaction factor test conducted in construction site. To measure the ratios of weight of the partial compacted to fully compacted concrete is the mechanisms of compaction factor tests. It was developed by Road Research Laboratory in UK, and it is used to determine the workability of the concrete, and as mentioned, in laboratory. To conduct such laboratory, we need to comply with BS 181 Part 103 testing concrete, or you can refer to Indian Standard 1199-1959. To introduce you the apparatus of compaction factor test, it consists of 3 levels of different size of cones, and the upper 2 cones are hopper, and the below bottom one is the cylinder. The hopper one consists of a very smooth inner surface, and the bottom has a lid that can open. The internal diameter of the hopper is 254 mm, and the internal diameter at the bottom of the hopper is 127 mm. The height of each of the hopper is 279 mm. So similar, and for the second hopper, the diameter is for the top diameter is 229, bottom 127, and the height is also 229. The most interesting part of the test is the distance between each of the hopper. So for the first and the second one, the height is 203. While for the cylinder at the bottom, the diameter is 152 mm and the height is 305 mm. So this is a standard size diameter for a cylinder, and the height between the hopper, second level hopper, it's also the same as above. And this is according to Indian Standard 1199-1959. So what are the procedures to conduct compaction factor test? So step number 1, you need to apply grease on the inner surface of the hopper. So make sure you do it properly so that there will be no residual of concrete stick on the hopper when you perform the compaction factor test. Step number 2, after you have done greasing the hoopers for the both hoopers, you need to weight the empty weight of this cylinder. Jot down the weight of the empty cylinders, W1, because you are going to use it later. Step 3, once you have done, fill in the top hooper. Make sure you close the lid first and fill in the top hooper by using the concrete that you have prepared according to your DOE design. If you have forgotten how to design DOE, refer to laboratory 1. If you have forgotten how to mix concrete, refer to laboratory 2. Once everything's settled, make sure you level the top hooper concrete so that it is level. Once everything is ready, open the top lid, so the concrete will fall into second hooper. There will be some leftover stick on the surface of the lid. So you need to use a rod to help it to fall to the second hooper. Once all the concrete has been fallen down to the second hooper, open the lid and let the concrete fall to the last cylinder. There will be a lot of concrete fall out, and also the remaining concrete on top of the cylinder must be removed. Remove all the excessive concrete that surrounding the cylinder. Once you have done this, step 6, take this partial compacted concrete to weight it, and then record your weight. Partial compacted concrete, W2. Mark it down, jot it down, W2. After you have done this, pour back the concrete into your mix, and then you're going to do a full compaction concrete with 3 levels. Each levels you need to compact for 25 times. So you need to compact one level 25 times, second level 25 times, third level 25 times. Once you have compacted, level the top concrete and weight your cylinder with the concrete, fully compacted concrete. So measure it as W3, and you are going to use it in your calculations later. Once you have gotten your W1, W2 and W3, step number 8, you can calculate your compaction factors by using this formula. So the compaction factor is a ratio of weight of partially compacted concrete to the weight of fully compacted concrete, which is equal to your W2 minus W1 divided by W3 minus W1. And this is a compaction factor, and it should be in the range of 0.7 to 0.95. So if you are using a high workable concrete, it is not wrong to get more than 0.95, and in some cases you might get 0.99. So what are the advantages and disadvantages of compaction factor test? So first of all, it is suitable for all lab testing. It is suitable in the laboratory testing. It is suitable for concrete of low workability, where slump loss is lesser compared to, when you do the slump test. It gives more information about compactability as compared to slump test. It is more precise than static tests such as slump test for high isotropic concrete mix, and it is a dynamic test for your information, and it gives a very sensitive result. And what about the disadvantages? The equipment is large and bulky and not practical to have it to do it in the side field. It requires a balance to measure the mass of the concrete in the cylinder. Okay, no use of vibrations, and it is used rarely on site because nowadays our construction site use vibrator to compact the concrete. The test is commercially available but rarely used by our industrial player. So have a look on that one. So that's all for today. Thank you very much. If you love this, please subscribe and click on the bells, and you will receive more notifications regarding the videos. Thank you very much. Enjoy.